What's going on, guys? How the heck are you? I'm doing pretty well, I guess. What's been new? I don't know, man. Making a lot of focaccia. It's coming out really nicely, in my opinion. I really kind of cracked the nut with a little, a light bulb happened, something snapped, the inspiration came. Yeah, I think the light bulb went off with, episode coming out with a lovely lady from Michigan, Annie Paul. She came over and we made some focaccia together, a little sourdough focaccia, and it came out phenomenal. And I don't know what it was. It was just a classic kind of a basic sourdough ferment, nothing new, nothing crazy, but it just really worked out. And I think just doing that, you take 1,000 grams, 1,000 gram ferment of your dough, and usually I would cut that into like smaller pieces of bread or at least two boules, but to just kind of lay it out into this sheet tray and then letting it do its proofing. It's just a nice process. A lot of surface area, a lot of olive oil. I've been doing a lot of sesame seeds on it, but episode should be coming out soon. I don't know which one will be first, but be sure to check that one out. We can have light bulbs pop together in the focaccia bread making world. The kids get off the bus. They got off the bus yesterday. Fresh focaccia. What's that like? That must be nice. A little core memory there. Ooh, Papa, get off the school bus. Oh, let's see what Pa's doing. And they run and they run into the studio and whaff, as soon as the doors open, they're punched in the nose by the smell of toasty, salty, oily focaccia bread right out of the oven, nice and perfectly rested on a wire rack. Come over, boys, I say, and I cut them a piece, and it's the best. It's just a great little thing. I love doing it. What's better than making bread for and eating it with friends and family and loved ones? Go ahead. The colder seasons are coming. Get yourself a starter if you don't have one already. You can make it by yourself. You don't need nobody. You don't need ungats from nobody. Nice, easy little steps. You get the water and the flour, and then you do it for like a week or two. You feed it every day. Look it up on Google. It's really simple. Or get it from a friend, and then you just feed it once, keep it going. But anyway, what I'm getting at here, what we're beating around the bush about, is it's just about baking season for me. I'm going to get into bagels. All right. Our next guest today has a book coming out. Delightful fella, but he's got a book. His name's Jake Cohen, author out of New York. Super nice guy. He's got a new book, Dinner Party Animal, and we're going to be making some French toast sticks out of it. All right. Delightful. All right. Some challah bread French toast where you bake it and then you cut it and you sear it. Making an episode coming out soon where we do that. We had a grand old time doing it. But there's also I haven't done it yet, but there's apparently, according to old Jake Cohen, there's a really great bagel recipe in there, and I was eyeballing it, a whole chapter on a bagel party, which is awesome. You can do all the fixins, but most importantly, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that's the kind of relationship we have here. I've never made a bagel by myself. I don't think I've ever really been a part of anyone ever making a bagel, now that I think about it. And that's sad, all right? Because I love a good bagel, okay? And they're hard to get. So I'm going to, this chilly season, this fall, winter, early spring, I think I'm going to get into bagels. Just, crank out a couple dozen, wake up early too, like I had a bagel shop, get up, start baking them at like 4 a.m. I don't have to, but just because it's nice. No, I probably won't do that. But anyway, all right, before our next guest, let's go check the hotline. All right, let's go check the old bucket of requests, thoughts, concerns, ideas that you lovely folks send in to layitonbradleone@gmail.com. Coming in from Reggie. When it comes to dicing an onion, the way I have been taught was to cut in half, then do vertical cuts, and then horizontal cuts about halfway down, then dice. Is the horizontal cut before the dice really necessary? Yeah, I think if you're right. Let's walk through this real quick, like a child doing a word problem. Okay. Becky has 7 bananas. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you got your onion. All right, here we go. I've been taught to cut it in half. Yeah. And then do your vertical cuts. I do horizontal first. I do my horizontal cuts, then I do my vertical cuts. Horizontal, vertical, and then I do my dice. That's the way to do it. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about. I guess if you're more comfortable, you could do your verticals first. Maybe that's a common thing. It's 6-1, half a dozen to the other, Reggie. But you watch those fingertips, and God bless, man. God bless all you guys. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anyone who's listening, aliens, we'll just leave it at that. Our next guest, Jake Cohen, visiting us all the way from beautiful New York City. He's got a few books. This is his third one, I believe. Dinner Party Animal, okay? And that indeed he is a little dirty party animal who loves to cook. And we had a blast, and we made some French toast, and the video is going to be coming out soon. But let's get into our next guest, Jake Cohen. Man, stoked to have you on the show again, and to celebrate your cookbook. It's your third one, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the title is "What I'm a Party Animal."
It's Dinner Party Animal, but I am also a party animal.
Same thing.
I mean, we love a play on words.
What made you come up with? Talk to me about the book a little bit. I mean, what made you want to? What's the structure of it?
So really, I'm very blessed. Like my first two books were moderately successful, and with that came a lot of people making these recipes. And one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I would get is messages, and they'd come up at signings, be like, I love this recipe. I make it all the time. What should I serve with it?
Right.
And you realize that, like, as you get people confident in the kitchen, in terms of making one recipe, multiple recipes, having a repertoire of dishes that they can go to, the next step is they want to learn how to actually like put it together into a meal. And I just wanted to kind of take the guesswork out of it. It's also so true to how I test my recipes, how I live my life. I'm always hosting. I'm always throwing dinner parties. I'm always hosting Shabbat or holidays. And I wanted to just kind of make a book that celebrated that. So it's 16 menus for kind of every occasion, bagel brunches to weeknight dinners to a full Thanksgiving menu, everything that you can imagine, from like more adventurous or more aspirational cooking to just like really back pocket dishes. And
amazing. Sounds like a good arsenal to have in the lineup, man. A good book to have on the shelf.
There we go.
But before all that, man, for folks that don't know you, Jake, and it's my first time meeting you in person, where'd you grow up, Jake?
I was born in Manhattan, grew up in Queens, in Bayside, so I had a very like Fran Drescher upbringing. My family, it literally, like, The Nanny's my favorite show. Everything about it is me. Like, it's just
The Nanny kind of solidified my type of woman.
Obsessed. I'm your type of woman, then.
Love her.
I'm your type of woman.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love her like little like whiny hotness.
That's my voice. This is my, and it's so interesting because I have a very laser pointed dialect of New York accent, which is Jewish Queens, and it's very similar. And a lot of times people will be like, has anyone ever told you sound like Fran Drescher? Which I don't take as an insult.
And you're blushing instantly.
I mean, I'm obsessed. I literally just for the wedding, I was just at my friend Benny's wedding, and I had a custom tux made in the style of the outfit she wears in the first episode with this leopard lapel, because she's an icon, and I was like, that's me. I'm the nanny.
I love that. You must have looked sharp that night, buddy.
Yes, I did.
So growing up in New York, and it's funny. I mean, you mentioned, with Franny and that very unique kind of, it's very New York.
Completely. I
mean, it's, you know what I mean? It's almost more, it reminds me more of New York than just say like a Jewish accent or, you know what I mean? Like there's that like love child, and like New York's always had a really amazing Jewish population. And it is cool. Like when people think of like a New York accent, in my opinion, it usually is like it's often like the old guy at a coffee shop who's 65, or he's an old Jewish New York guy.
And I love a smoker's voice. I love an old Italian man. My favorite is when I talk to another native New Yorker and our accents come out stronger. I have this one friend, and he doesn't have an accent in the way he speaks, but he's from Staten Island. He's like an Italian from Staten Island, and he is like we are both trash, and we love that. And when I talk to him, sometimes they'll come out where all of a sudden he's just so like prim and proper, and then be like, "Yeah, what the fuck? I can't believe that he did that to you. I'm never gonna talk to that guy again." And he just really starts to sound,
It turns up.
yeah, which I love.
It's the best. And I mean, it's growing up in New York. That must have been pretty rad. I mean, it must have been all the things, right?
It was
I
all
mean,
the things. It's interesting because then I moved out to Long Island for high school, which was quite like it was just like a different experience. So I had like the suburban high school, I don't know,
more New York pop collar, more like Italian pop collar. And...
yes, Italian. It was also a lot more Jewish. It's like growing up in Queens, like even in my class, I was part of like the New York City public school magnet program. So it was the same class every year. And it was predominantly an Asian community. And so really I grew up culture-wise, like all of my friends were Asian, and I would go to like, I don't know, bubble tea shops after school. And we would do like all of these like cultural exchanges with the class. And so we would do like cooking classes. We learned about everyone's culture. And it wasn't until I moved out to Long Island where I was really surrounded by predominantly Jews.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, this is the culture.
Bagel shop in every strip
Bagel
market.
shop. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. And so you went to high school out in Long Island?
Yeah.
And what part of Long Island?
Dix Hills.
Dix Hills. What's that by?
Exit 50 on the LIE.
Exit 50.
Right in the middle.
Okay. So like after you're going past Robert Moses, past...
Exactly. But Robert Moses was our beach.
That was your beach.
That was our beach.
Robert Moses was the best.
It's the best.
Although you walk down to that demo point at the end down there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't go anymore because
right.
I'm in the Pines. I'm on Fire Island proper now.
But it's the same strip.
It's the same strip, but it's a long strip.
It is a long strip. And yeah, man. So growing up in Long Island, and then was food always a part of like a big part of your life, or?
You know, I would come home from school and I was obsessed with the Food Network. Like these were the women that raised me. Some kids were like, actually there were two categories. I loved reality television and I loved food television. So this was like peak Flavor of Love. Like, do you remember Flavor of
Sure.
Love? So like I remember like Tiffany Pollard, New York, who then had the spin-off show I Love New York. She's part of why I think I went into this industry. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, this woman has realized that she's the main character in other people's stories. And I'm like, I might be the main character too. And then to follow that, I was watching like Ina and Rachel and Giada every day. And these were like these women that I was just obsessed with. And I started hosting these little dinner parties where I'd print out their recipes and I'd cook them for my friends. Not very well. It was
You gotta start somewhere.
But it's like, it was the first time we were all these teenagers that were getting together, sitting at a meal, acting like adults. Like we're just starting to get our licenses. Like it was really fun. And I didn't really think anything of it. And then I had this kind of revelation, probably like I was really high one day and I was kind of just like realized like, oh, I think I'm just going to go to culinary school. Cool. And so I only applied to the Culinary Institute of America. I had no backup plans, no normal college, didn't do like a Common App or anything. And I got it. They have rolling admission. So I got in before anyone else knew their college acceptance stuff. And then I was just like checked out.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's a big school, right? It's a 2-year program if I'm not...
For the associates, but I was going straight from high school. So I did the bachelor's program. So I did the 3.5.
So you're taking other classes outside of just food then?
Yeah, you then do like business classes. They do like a whole bunch. I will say it's one of those things where I was a good student, so I had all these AP credits. And since
I get that vibe,
it's not necessarily like a really. It's like it's funny. I give ditzy, but that's just
no. Like in grade school, your backpack was squared away.
Girl, I'm a Capricorn. Like, so for me, one of the things that I really like loved was that I got to like have them accept all of my AP credits and graduate early because I didn't have to do it. I never had to take a math class in college.
Home run.
Like, yeah.
Wow, that's huge. It's kind of a little loophole there. I love that.
I mean, you front load.
Best way. Loophole's not the right word, but you did the work and got your AP credits, and it's cool that they honored them and used them. I think that's awesome.
And then I got out into the workforce. So it's interesting because then I had I did my like externship at Danielle, which was
insane.
I mean, this was about 3 Michelin stars at the time.
Well, let's come back to graduating school because you brought up something that I really love talking about, and it was heyday Food Network.
Oh yeah,
like pre-YouTube, pre people doing stuff on TikTok, and it was
Stand
TV.
and start.
It was, and it was exactly. And those guys, I mean, they were rock stars at that time. I mean, they were. I always wanted to know what, like, in the heyday, what those guys were getting paid, like prime TV.
I don't think it was that crazy.
No,
I don't. I mean, now obviously it's like you hear about like Guy Fieri's deals, and you're like, period. Like that's a fucking deal. I don't know. I don't know, but it was also like I skipped school one day to go to a Giada book signing on Long Island.
Amazing.
And this was like, she was
tiny.
She was my Gaga. Like she was my diva. And yeah, and I think it was just something. And it's so funny because now she blurbed this book, which was
that must have felt cool.
It felt really cool to have Rachel and Giada are both on the back cover.
Well, look at you.
Like I'll never forget. That was actually the moment. I mean, we're skipping ahead now, but like the moment I knew I made it was I did a pre-record for the Rachel Ray show when my first book came out in 2021. And it was just like me literally at home recording on my iPhone, and she like set up the video. So I'm watching on launch day because I didn't see anything. And it's her saying pretty much like this was the cookbook that's gotten her the most excited in many years. And
Whoa.
She like hyped me up in a way and then had me back on the show many more times. And I started to, I am not a very emotional person, almost to a fault. And I started hysterically crying because it was like one of those things like, oh shit, like we're going to fucking do it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having an emotion, man. And, you know, even like for me, I know he got into some shit, and I met him one time. He was, I mean, whatever. But remember the show with Mario Batali where he like cooked for his friends?
Yeah.
Then it was like,
of course.
That was a great show.
When you look at the heyday of food media, I think a huge part of it was this was pre-competition.
Right.
This was pre-anything but how do we tell stories?
Pre-competition.
Which
is like, and I'll say this, unfortunate in my opinion. Like, well, at least just for me, I shouldn't say that, right? To each their own, whatever. But like, it's my least favorite style of cooking, and probably my least favorite style of food entertainment.
I also think like culturally what we've done is we've created a real desire to pin everyone against each other. And since that is the kind of foremost
what's more American than that these days? Jake?
Yeah, but that's like it's like when you look at food media, a lot of times or even just like cookbook authors or TV or any of that, everyone's being pinned against each other, either by the public or by the networks or by different, I don't know, publications. Everyone wants to create this kind of competition, when I've always been like this big believer that like a rising tide lifts all ships.
Right. So I love that.
It's hard to see, like, I don't know, I really don't think that I think a lot of people don't champion each other in the cooking field in the way that they probably should.
I feel like that paradigm has shifted a bit, right? From, especially like given, you know, toxic and like really aggressive kitchens. And I feel like that kind of is going away a little bit, that like hardcore brigade mentality of just like yelling at you. Like,
yeah, that's gone. But I just think I think it's more so like, it's this idea that there has to be a winner. Right. That if someone is winning in our space, that means that we're losing, when it's not the truth.
Right, I agree with that.
And I think that's the bigger thing that I want people to get, which is like it's not that deep. Like we're bringing joy to the world. We're helping people cook. We're helping like create the opportunity for people to build community and hone in on a skill that I truly see as important to self-care as going to the gym or meditating or, I don't know, drinking water, cooking. Yes, for sure. And I think people don't necessarily see it like that yet.
Well, it's been beaten out of a lot of people in society,
mm-hmm.
the idea of cooking, right? Convenience is everything now. And it's, a lot of people forget, you know, and I say this all the time, you know, I should put it on a t-shirt, but food is just
available now for purchase.
bradleone.com. It's another universal language, like music, you know what I mean? And like, you can go anywhere in the world, no matter, you know, all different walks of people and cultures, and everyone is excited about the food, you know, and we've been doing it for a very, very, very long time. You know, I mean, it's since the beginning of time, for at least our time, right? Like, but like what I'm getting at is, I think people forget like how much of that is a part of human DNA. Like what makes you human is cooking and eating food and knowing where your food comes from. That's all been kind of beaten out of society, especially I'll just speak for America, with the industrialization of food and everything just kind of being available now and bigger, faster, whatever, and there's more. And to kind of slow it down and return to the basics of it.
And that's what, in terms of even like this book is really my feeling that cooking for people that you love is like a huge important act of self-care that needs to be part of your routine. And like the ability to learn how to do it and bring that into your life is crucial, because we have this, like, everyone talks about this, the epidemic of loneliness in America. And I think oftentimes it's because we're missing these rituals that are so crucial to how we both like feed ourselves, feed others, and create space. I'm like,
and community.
and community. So I'm a kind of, again, very witchy, very Jewy. The two go hand in hand. Hear me out. One of the things, and it's funny because we are now, for those that are listening, we are bridged by a loaf of challah that I brought.
Not a bad bridge.
Not a bad bridge. So this is the bread of Shabbat, the Friday night ritual of a meal that kind of kicks off the day of rest. We stand around the table and we pray, giving gratitude, giving thanks for this bread, which is this conduit for connection. And I'm a believer that act, and I do believe everything is energy, is putting positive intentional thinking and energy into the bread that we then tear apart and eat, infusing that and like absorbing that energy that the collective has all put into this piece. So I am a believer that cooking for others and making that act yourself is so crucial. And the best way I can put it is like I've said in the YouTube video that everyone will watch, challah is like the thing I'm probably the most confident to make in the kitchen. And there was this one time where everyone was like, this is the best challah you've ever made. Like, it's always great, but like there's just something about it. It's better. And it was actually quite an easy answer for me, because I had met this guy in this gay nude beach in Oaxaca, and we had this love affair that then continued back in New York. It came and visited for a week, and it was the challah that I had baked while I was having this love affair. And it truly, like, you could taste the love in the challah, because the mood, the energy that I was feeling got infused into the bread. And I truly do believe it, which is why everyone's like, oh, what's the secret to throwing a good dinner party? And it's like, the first is your attitude. If you're going to come in, like, you're going to have a good time.
I love that, man. And I'm a firm believer of that too, the energy in there. And like, if you're happy and there's like this very positive, I mean, you can feel, I mean, it's not fake, right? I mean, like, and I do believe it transcends just your thoughts and your internal feelings. I think that that's real. I mean, the word manifestation gets used a lot, but like,
I'm a big manifester.
I love it.
Big on manifestation.
But I love it, man. And me too. And like, and not that everything you manifest necessarily is going to come true just if you think of it, but it doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt. But really what it is, and like, the more you talk about it, the more you're putting it out into the universe, and you're having a kind of a clear sense. And it could be physical things, but really it's ideas. Like, I want to feel loved. I want to feel fulfilled by my work. I want to create art that resonates with others. I want to hone in on a skill. Really what you're doing is, the more that you talk about it, the more that you put intention towards it, the more that you're going to start to find those synchronicities in your daily life, and you're just more attentive to it. If you only think about negative things, you're going to find more negative things. If you only think about positive things, you're going to find more positive things.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very wise and truthful thing to say. Can
I give you my favorite thing?
Keep going. I love it.
God. Okay, so this is a thing, just to tie back to what we were saying off camera in terms of my one of my side quests in terms of pastimes is the occasional orgy. And there's this one kind of takeaway it's so wild, because you wouldn't think of it this way, but when you're in a group sex situation,
I love where this is going.
And this could be, you could say this to, you could like apply this to anything. There are moments where you'll see a guy, he's so hot, and you'll approach him and he wants nothing to do with you. And then you'll have this guy that's like throwing himself at you and you want nothing to do with him. And then you'll lock eyes with this man who met, or woman, depending on what kind of orgy you're at, or everything. I mean, gender's a construct. And you'll lock eyes with someone, and they'll match your energy, and you just start having sex. And the point of that is, the more time that you spend chasing people or things or ideas that you know deep down at first glance are not right for you, the less time you'll have finding the things that match your energy.
Right.
And I feel that way about professional, about platonic friends, about lovers, about romantic things, all of it, especially when it comes to like food, because I really do think the reason I bring up an orgy on a food podcast is because one of the things that comes up a lot is I don't actually cook for money. Like I don't cook for others, because to me, to cook for someone is very intimate. To me, it's actually more intimate than sex.
Well, that's a wild way to look at it, but you know what? To each their own, man.
I would probably have sex for money before I would start cooking for money.
Stick my dick in the mashed potatoes,
There we
man.
go.
It's that kind of party. But you know what? There's some truth to it, and I like how we got there. And the lesson there, I think, is super strong. You know, the universe has its ways of like making things happen, whether you want to fight it or not. And I think you made a great point there with like the person that doesn't give two shits about you.
Yeah.
Maybe that does need to happen. But I think the takeaway is don't fixate on chasing that.
You release.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because now we're in this time where I come out with a book and it's all about me. It's all about like the press and selling the copies and throwing the parties and
you're the author.
And it becomes this thing of you invite all these people in your life to come celebrate you, to come support you, to come to your book signings, to do this, to do that. And it's very interesting to see who shows up.
Right.
And who's championing you and who doesn't.
Well, man, there's a lot of that out there where a lot of folks have a hard time being happy for other people's success, especially when they know them, even if you like them. I've noticed, you know, and like, listen, I've felt the feeling before too. I check myself. We're all human. You know what I mean? But like, what an ugly, unhelpful thing to be a part of.
And I would say it's something that I know it's just part of life. Jealousy, all these things, they're things that you have to actively be fighting against. And so I feel like I create so many rituals or opportunities for myself to put fight against it. I'll never forget. So photographed in this book, I have all like my friends and families that have like tasted all the recipes, and including like not a ton of food people, but one who I've become super close with is Joan Nathan, who's like the godmother of Jewish cooking. Like she really is the predominant Jewish cookbook author. Joan Nathan, and she was like a friend of Julia Child, and she's just an icon who really paved the way for me to do what I do. And I'll never forget, she had her memoir can't come out like a few years ago, and I reached out and I was like, listen, I'm gonna throw you a book party to introduce you to like a new generation of Jewish food people and young food enthusiasts to you. And I threw her this big party, and then like her book signings attract a certain age, and this was one of like 20 and 30 somethings like celebrating her. And that's what I love. Same thing with like your Ben Gingy just came out with his book with his wife Ziki, and I made sure I was moderating that book launch at Stryker Center and hyping it up, because that's like it's what I find such joy in is. And yes, I will preface, it's like there are a lot of, and we've not said it on camera, but off camera, there are a lot of mean girls in our industry, and I'm not going to give them my energy. And I totally believe in those kinds of boundaries of like not throwing yourself for people that really don't care about you. But that being said, still always making sure to be kind, be gracious, be generous. It's the easiest. I have a friend who's like, it's so easy to be kind and generous.
I think that's a great point, man. And it's also so much better. Like personally, like you feel better. It's easier. God, you know what sucks? Being a dick, being mean and cranky.
Are we a Marcus Aurelius fan?
And talk, yeah. And I just bought his book.
Period. One of the best lines in this book is the best revenge is not being that way. I'm big into Ryan Holiday and like obstacle is the way and like all of the stoicism like mantras, and that takeaway is so important to me.
Yeah, because it is. And we talk about energy and manifesting and if you spend all that time just hating on people and being this, and talk about a cancer of your brain, talk about a cancer of energy. It's just, to me, it's just toxic. And I've never found any. And listen, I could be a dick and I can be bitter and quiet sometimes, you know, but like for the most part, like life's better if you have a positive outlook and if you're nice to people. And I do believe it comes around. Always. Listen, nicest person in the world could die of cancer tomorrow. I'm not saying you're that, but like, man, while you are in it, I have found great return in being nice to people. People always ask me, do you get, I was just down in Houston, Texas, doing the Southern Smoke Festival. And they have this really awesome Chris Shepard. Shout out to Chris Shepard. They raise money through this festival for people in need in the service industry. So if you get laid off or something's this, or you're a cook and like whatever it may be, you can submit and get qualified. They raised $1.7 million for that, which was awesome. And just like what I'm getting at with this is when I was down there, people are like, Brad, why do you always like, you don't have to say hi to everyone and take pictures of everyone. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, it wasn't, that long ago I was putting shingles on a roof, you know what I mean?
And now people want a picture with you. It's and like you do it.
How much of a dick do you have to be
so crazy
to not have the time? And I get it. Listen, I'm not freaking, who's hot right now? Who's big? I'm not Pedro. You know what I mean? I get it. You can't say hi to everyone.
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, right? Like,
that's such a random
but like he's like
for you.
He's a hot shit now, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
everyone wants to take a right. So what my point is like I get like when you get to that level, you can't say hi to everyone.
For sure, because it's emotional energy. And
or if like you're a celebrity and you go up to someone and you meet him and like, oh, he didn't have the time for you and he was cranky. His mom could have just died too. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
You never know what's going on with that. But for someone like me, man, to have people be interested and care and
you're a BFD.
Man, how could you? That's my favorite part of the job.
Yeah.
And like it's the best.
And now tell me, are these predominantly men or women?
I would say 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just, and it is what you make it. I mean, luckily it's been very positive for me.
And you can meet some cool people. The number of times that I've like met people in the world and they've ended up, I literally at my book launch in New York, it was a big blessing. Like I've leveled up every time, and this time I had 750 people there, and which was intense for the afterwards. But there was this one girl, and she came out to me and she's like, I'm here with my whole mahjong group, and if you ever have any interest in learning mahjong, we'd love to teach you. I was like, oh my god, here, take my email. I'm dying to learn mahjong. I'm probably going to go and join their mahjong team because like, why not?
What's mahjong?
Mahjong, the tile game.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
It's big. Jewish women love mahjong.
Really?
Yeah. Again, it all ties into like, I love New York history of like the communities of the Jewish immigrant community, the Italian immigrant community, and the Chinese immigrant community were all next to each other on the Lower East Side.
Right.
And so there's a lot of beautiful cultural celebration.
New York's the best, man.
Truly. Center of the universe.
You're not going anywhere?
Never. It's like there's that Arrested Development line. It's about California, but it's about New York. I would say I'd rather be dead in New York than alive in insert any other state.
Gotcha. Heck yeah. Yeah, man. So the book has been out for a little bit now, right? Your most recent book.
Oh, 1 week. We're at the 1 week moment. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, fresh. So that's a big relief.
Yeah.
Right. How was that process? I mean, I know you enjoy the book process.
It's interesting. I actually think I'm going to take probably like a little break. This is my third book back to back of never not stopping. And the second I would wrap a tour, I would go right back into.
Are we talking like a year?
2 years
each.
2 years each.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
This is the first time since I've really become so witchy and really created like incredible ritual around myself. My last time around, again, so the first book did well, instant New York Times bestseller. Second time around, I put just so much pressure on myself to do it again. And it became this thing where the book is so great. I like hit the press. I did all this stuff. And in my head, I wasn't a success unless I did it again. And then when I made the list again, it's not like all of a sudden I was happy.
Right.
If anything, it actually just made me sad that I ruined this process that was supposed to be so positive and turned it into something that was really hard on myself.
I feel like, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it was this thing with me when I made a book, like that was, I didn't know it like when I was making it, I didn't really care. But when it was time, I never wanted like to be on a list or win something. And I don't know if you win anything, but like then the New York Times like book list. And like it felt, when I got the call, it was great. But like I haven't, that was a few years ago. And like, I know friends that are making books now and have just came out or in the process. And the amount of stress it causes people about pre-sale and leading into it just to get, regardless of if they love the book or not, just to get on that list. It's making me kind of hate it.
100%. And also for this book, it was, and again, I did a media blitz, and it was all, everyone keeps asking, like, who's your publicist? You're looking at him. I'm a one-man team. And it's like I like did every type of collab with different food people. I did like all the talk shows and Today Show and Drew Barrymore, all that stuff. I had pop-up collabs where there were menu items from the book at like all at Bread's Bakery and Honey's and pop-up bagels and everywhere. And I wanted everyone to see this book because I'm so proud of it. It came out. I mean, I worked my fucking ass off. It's so much work. And again, I don't take it lightly. I know that I need to make sure that I give a quality product. I need all the recipes to work out. I'm so sick of all these books that come out and they're like,
no one tested anything.
No one tested anything.
Them.
They're missing ingredients. Like, did you not proofread your own book? And again, there are things that miss, but sometimes you see them and I'm like, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake to let happen. And I make sure that doesn't happen. And I'm just so proud of this book. So really, I came out of this thing. I was like, I don't really care. I know the value of it. I know my own value separate. However, that being said, this process is still so triggering. It so brings out those feelings of lack of self-worth. And I don't know how quickly I am going to be to rush into this process again.
I just started wanting to make another book.
I love that.
And it's been like 4 years.
But that's how
I had like PTSD from it. It was so much, not really, but like it was.
Yeah, but it's an intense project. This is art.
Right.
You're creating an art project that you then the world has to then digest it and
at the end of the day, I mean, I think the nail on the head there is, man, you got to be proud of it. It took me like over a year to like my book after I made it. Like I liked making it. I liked doing it. The pictures were awesome. And, we cooked it and styled it. And Maggie, she's an amazing food stylist, but then like when I was looking at it and I was so hard on myself, I was like, oh my God, this recipe sucks. Like, I could have made this better. Like it's a year later now, the bread we made, I'm better at making bread now. You know what I mean?
Which is true. Like, I mean, that's part of it. But I also love to think of these books as these time capsules.
100%.
That's why I love.
That's why
there's a thesis to each of my books, and I have a question that I then try to answer through 100 recipes. And then it's like I look back so fondly because it's also a memory of the friends I had during that time that I was cooking for, the way that who I was, what I looked like. I look at these, I have all these portraits and dinner. I'm so much hotter now than I was when we shot this book like a year and a half ago. I look at some of these pictures and be like, wow, you look so different. I was like, yeah, because I'm like 15 pounds lighter.
Right. Yeah, good for you, man.
But it's just, and yet still I love every page.
Yeah. It's what you got to do. That's the name of it, man. Make it for yourself. And
artist for the artist.
That's right. And when I did the book too, it was like, I wanted to make something that wasn't digital. I wanted to make something that like, man, it's like, I mean, listen, I didn't even go to college. I had a hard time in high school, and like to make a book that like, that got like published, not just like, me sending it off and like making it myself on like, some like online website or something, but like a real book, and that like I really wanted to just show my kids one day, like, man, Daddy was a New York Times bestselling author.
Now sometimes I'll go over for like a random hookup with a guy and I'll see my book on the shelf.
Oh, he's ready.
And I'm like, and sometimes you don't even realize it. And that's the fun
part. Come on.
Well, sometimes we haven't shared full names. So it's fair.
I love that. And you see it on the
see it on the shelf and be like, you got my book.
Heck yeah. Some of your favorite parts of cooking the book, but probably what? Just cooking with friends, or like what is?
Yeah. So one of the things that was so wild is I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. It didn't actually kind of manifest until the day before the shoot, which is I wanted to have pictures of myself and my friends and family, because it's a dinner party book. You have to have some pictures. You have to have people. And I was like, how am I going to do it? I was going to have everyone come for like one of the shoots, for like one of the menus. And I just couldn't coordinate everyone at the same time. And it was also because I had spent the last few months, Benny Blanco, who's a good friend of mine, was in town, and we had spent so long together, and I had just helped him with his book launch, and he wanted to be part of this, but he's like, I'm leaving town day one of your shoot. Can we shoot my pick at the very beginning?
Right.
And so he was the first shot of the entire shoot, and we literally, my prop stylist set up a little fake dinner party table. We took the portraits of him with the recipe, and it was perfect. And so I was like, I just blast texted everyone. I was like, hey, you have the next 8 days to come by to the studio. Just text me when is good, and we're going to take your portrait.
Cool.
And we took 40-ish portraits of all of my friends and family. And they're all in like these different scenes. And we have all these collages. And it's everyone from like my grandmother and my mother to like Katie Couric and Mike Solomonov and Ben Gingy. And everyone came by. And my favorite drag queen, who's a friend of mine. Like everyone came by to have their portrait taken. And that's what's so special, is that these were the people. This is the time capsule of these last 2 years
Chapter of your
who
life.
I cooked for. Yeah.
I love that, man. And it is. I think, and I say that all the time before I heard you say it is a little bit of a time capsule.
Yeah.
And like, there's something beautiful about it being like a hard object.
There are people photographed in this book that I'm not even that close with anymore.
Right.
But still, it's like, well, I would never not have them in because they meant so much to this process.
Right.
And I have such love and deep appreciation for that.
Sure. Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you said you were probably take a little beat before you want to do another one.
We'll say, oh my God, it's again, thing is,
it's been 1 week, Brad. You're asking them about another book already.
I'm pretty good at it. Like that's like one of the things that like I'm not. I can make a really good cookbook.
Do you find yourself getting better at it every time?
Oh my God! And now it's just like, oh, and I know each part of the process I get better at, and I love a project that is also like, I feel this actually way about social, where I'll create a style of recipe and I'll start to kind of pop off, and I've had a couple of viral moments, and I'll like lean into the viral moment for a hot second, and then I just quit it cold turkey because I refuse to be known as like one thing. Like when I see it all the time, it's like, oh my God, that guy. And I have like at least 3 or 4 things that people are like, oh my God, you're the whatever guy. And someone will be like, oh, you're the cottage guy. And then
you don't want to be the
you're
one
upside
person.
down cake guy. Oh no, you're this guy. And so that's what I want. What my favorite is when I
don't think it lasts long.
Yeah, but I was going to do a name droppy thing.
Do it.
So I was staying at Benny and Selena's house in LA, and they had some friends over, and they were coming up to me like, "Oh my God, you're a hot gay chef," and like that became like the thing of people getting to know because they talk about me or whatever. They see me and Benny cooking together online, and that's all. I don't want to be known for like one specific style. Hot gay chef, like that works. That works.
Okay,
yeah,
could be worse.
Could be worse.
Yeah, Benny, he's a sweetheart, huh?
The best.
Yeah. So I jumped in before, and you mentioned after culinary school that you cut your teeth. You started cooking over at Danielle.
I was at Danielle and then ABC Kitchen. And really, so it was Danielle, I did my externship that then I extended. And then my last year, since I kind of had a really light work schedule, I would like go work a few days at ABC during the school week. And then when I graduated, I went full time on the line.
Amazing. And how was that? I mean,
it was great. I mean, it was the hottest spot at the time
right.
in New York. So it was just, we were just getting slammed every day. And I loved it, but I also knew I didn't want to like run a restaurant or own a restaurant. And so I quickly made the jump to media because I always knew I wanted to do this. This was always the plan. And that was like, it happens all the time. Or friends from high school or culinary school will be like, it's so wild that you literally just like would tell us that this is what you were going to do and you just are doing it. And it's because I'm delusional, and I big believer that delusion is the main thing missing from the average person's life. But I took an unpaid internship at Saveur magazine, and
I think delusion in dreams. There's plenty of delusion.
For sure.
I mean, let's not talk politicians.
Yeah. I mean, I think laser focused delusion.
Right. But I kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know? And like that, you're kind of describing a very similar avenue to like what happened with me. It was like
completely
culinary school. I knew, and I worked in restaurants, worked at the Standard, the Standard Grill over at the hotel for a little while.
For sure.
And like learned a lot.
Spent some nights at the Boom Boom Room.
For sure, man. Or, doing all types of stuff. You
love it.
Right. And,
about how you fell into it. And
and just like I did an internship there, but I kind of knew, and it was a little delusional.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to go, I was like, it's such a big category, food. It's so much more than just restaurants, like people are doing the different media and TV. And like, I was like, I'm going to go culinary school. I'm going to like get a job at Unilever and develop like flavors for Ben and Jerry or the next.
Love that.
And like literally that's why I went to culinary school. And like fast forward a year, it's like those people are food scientists with fucking like chemistry doctorates and stuff. Like you're not getting that job out of school.
Yeah.
But it was that delusion. Delusion has a negative kind of vibe to it, but I'm not using it in a negative way.
No, completely.
Like, that delusion is what made me take the risks and jump out of the comfort to do something that's crazy, quote unquote crazy. On paper, shouldn't work. Most of the time, not gonna work, but it did. You know, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So it's cool to hear you kind of have a very similar. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't even, this wasn't an option.
I was also a child. Like I took I started as an intern at Saveur at 20.
Okay.
Which was wild because I couldn't even we would need to buy liquor for a recipe, and I would have to have another intern do it because I just didn't even have. I couldn't even do that.
So you started at Saveur.
I started at Saveur, and then I pretty much just hustled. I was like, anytime they had an opportunity, there was like a little section where they would give me like a 200-word thing in the magazine. I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I would hustle, and then eventually they hired me on as a freelancer, and then eventually onto the masthead. And then the second, it was actually when Andy left a tasting table for Bon App, I hustled, and I was like, it should be me. And I got the fucking job as food editor at like 22.
That's amazing.
And I would say a huge part of that was I had been building up a social media presence at the same time. And to me, I always saw it as this virtual business card. So I started to really be at least name checked by the other editors and names in the industry who were familiar with like, oh, who's this kid at Saveur who's cooking at least pretty food, and go from there. And it was really crazy because then I was in print at the tail end of print, then straight into digital, and then hopped around. At one point I was the food critic for Time Out New York for like a year, which I hated because I wasn't cooking. And it was just like, I don't know, you had to be mean sometimes. And it's like, I don't want to be mean.
Right.
But yeah, I just I knew social media was going to be important.
Sure.
And I think a lot of editors or a lot of people in our field were like, no, print is king. And listen, print is king. That's why I write books.
Well, it was.
Yes, you're right. But it's still prestigious,
right.
Is I think what I
hope it never dies.
I hope it never dies.
Yeah.
And yet to ignore the momentum.
Right.
Was crazy. And so I hustled. I made sure I built up a following, and that's what allowed me to get my first book deal.
Well, you got to stay with the times, man. Right? When the internet came out, there were people, I'm not getting on the damn internet. How'd that work out for you?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Same with me. I was kind of like a little bit of like, I was a little late to the socials, but I saw, as soon as I did get on it, I really saw the value in it. And you hear a lot of people kind of, it can be as negative as you make it. It can be as negative as you want, if you want to be a mean bitch.
Oh, it's the worst place.
It can be
we said, when I win Mega Millions, I'm deleting it all.
Right. But man, it can also be an amazingly positive place. Like, people are like, oh, man, you don't read your comments, do you? I'm like, have you read mine? They're all positive, man. Like, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? I like the feedback. And listen, if I'm doing something stupid, I want to know, if something, you know what I mean? But like, listen, there's always going to be obnoxious noise and stupid stuff. And, some 14-year-old boy in the Philippines who tells me I'm a shitty cook or something. Like, okay, you know what I mean? It is the internet. But like, man, I can't. I always tell people when they ask me, man, like, oh, how do you deal with social media? I said, easily, man. It's other than like business and deliverables and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome
for sure.
So yeah, I've always enjoyed it, man. And it's been a really cool. It's been a really cool ride, and it sounds like you've had a really similar one, man. Like I started at Bon Appetit, you were at Saveur, and who was Hunter the editor-in-chief at the time?
No, this was post Hunter. Hunter had already gone down to Alabama for Food and Wine.
Bellingham or wherever the hell. Birmingham.
Yeah, no, I started under James Osland, and then went to Adam Sachs, who
he's great.
Over. It was wild. I mean, it's interesting because it's just weird. And I think of like a lot of the people I work with, and I typically have like one friend from every place I work with. It's an age in which there was a lot of competition, and there are a lot of people that I used to work for that were really terrible to me.
Oh, I bet.
And And now I run circles around them. And like, I'm sure they're even more mad. They're like really mad because I don't know, sucks to suck. It's like, but
Fuck
it's like,
'em.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
See you later. Ain't got time for that shit.
Exactly.
Not even a little bit. So what were you doing? Just recipe development?
That's it.
Yeah.
Testing, developing, learning how to write a recipe, learning how to edit a recipe.
Cross-testing shit.
Learning how to convert a restaurant chef's recipe for the home cook. It's where I really honed
that
in
doctor's
on that
prescription of notes that you get.
Yeah. And like learning how to hone in on that skill, while at the same time, the thing that I was least experienced with was just like, it was head note writing and really infusing anecdotes from my life that inspire people and make them feel that conversational element,
the human
element of it. And it's the thing that I think is such an incredible skill set that I use in my books, which is how do I get people excited about cooking the recipe and then make them feel like they really can do it. It has to be equal parts aspirational and attainable.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And as much as I don't really cook I don't follow recipes much.
Yeah,
I'm learning something, right? But like, I always did like taking something like a recipe from a chef, or even if it wasn't from a chef, but then just making it to where my mom or Johnny from Nebraska, whomever, can open it, follow A to Z, and get a consistent,
that's it,
a good result.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that's not nothing, and it's not easy.
But that's the baseline of what we do. Yeah, that is the foundation. Like, you have to do that as just a foundation, and then from there, you have to be exciting.
And entertaining.
But that's the whole thing.
All the things.
People are always like, oh my God, how do I pop off on the internet? Really? It's a really terrible answer, but like, if you are entertaining, you'll find your audience and you'll pop off. And there are some people that just... You're not gonna. And you have all of the talent in the world. There are so many people that are much more talented cooks or recipe developers than myself.
Oh my God.
But they are not compelling.
Dude, or the like trolls, and they're not talking to a camera. They don't have that. I couldn't agree more. I'm not the best at anything.
And don't get me wrong, I spent plenty of time under a bridge, but like,
right.
I think really when you got to find your audience. And I know so many people that have that they're not for me. I love to see how a specific subsect of America is obsessed with them. And then you start to see the overlaps, and sometimes your favorite food people are friends with your other favorite food people, and sometimes we're not. And I do love to see like the different like groupings. Sometimes I'm like, there are two people that they're more in the TikTok space. They're so close, and it makes no sense to me. And it actually has made me rethink my friendships with either of them, because I'm just like, ooh.
How does that work?
How does that work? And clearly there's something that I'm missing. But I also kind of love that, because then their audiences get to fall in love with each other, and it becomes this bigger thing. It's all such a weird anthropological study that I'm obsessed with.
If it's genuine, I love it. I mean, I guess it's a little icky when it's just for business purposes. Like, you have a much different audience than me. And listen, cross-pollination is a beautiful thing,
sure,
but to just build it on that kind of stinks.
And you want to hear the great. So it was actually one of those things where I was not. It was what we talked about this before about the referral system, which is how I feel around. I need someone that I trust and love to refer someone first. And I was actually nervous coming here today because I don't really cook with people I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it is quite an intimate act. And it's like, I'm coming into your space and you don't know me. I don't know you. I don't know that it's going to like vibe. And really the people who suffer the most are the people watching at home, because if there's no chemistry, then it's not going to work. And luckily, Ben Gingy, who's one of my best friends, was like, you're going to love Brad. It was such an incredible experience. Zeke and your wife had the best time. Like, just everything about it was like, amazing. Done. Let's go. Let's do this.
Cool. Well, great. Well, thank you, Ben, for the kind words. They're awesome, man. And he's got a book out too now, folks, if you wanted to check it out.
Eat Small Plates.
Small Plates. That's right. Awesome book. Awesome chefs too. Both of them. What a little power couple.
Completely.
Culinary power couple.
Like, wow.
Heck yeah, man. What else we got? What else you got going on? You're on tour now with the book?
I'm on tour now with the book.
I don't know when this baby's coming out, but you got a couple, some upcoming events or anything? Or?
Yeah. I'll be in November 12th, I'm in Atlanta. November 13th, I'm in Miami. And November 19th, I'm in Orange County.
Okay. All the hot spots.
Oh, and then October 21st in Maplewood, New Jersey.
Shout out to New Jersey, baby.
So that's going to sell out real quick. That's like my favorite small indie bookstore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
In Maplewood?
in Maplewood.
Very cool, man. For the folks listening here, me and Jake were making some really nice, he brought some awesome fresh made challah bread, and it is a delight to look at, and it's delicious. And we cut some up, we're toasted it, we got it soaking now in a little bit of a custard. We're going to be making a really cool, fun a recipe that I haven't really seen before that Jake's got in his new book, where you kind of make like this big tray of like a bread pudding, and then you cook it, and then you sear it. I'm excited to finish it up and see how he brings it home. Before I forget, just a little couple questions for you, Jake. In the world of coffee, you a coffee drinker?
I am.
Half and half or milk?
Okay, so this is going to be very controversial. Here's how I start every day. Every day, without fail.
It was a simple answer, Jake, but
no. And it happens 1 hour after I wake up. You don't have coffee before 1 hour after you wake up. It's a whole thing. Mel Robbins put me on.
Wait, hold on. You don't drink coffee 1 hour?
Until 1 hour. You wake up, you immediately have water. You wait 1 hour before introducing your body to caffeine.
Okay, go on.
Cold brew, protein powder, water and ice, and I shake it up in my protein shaker. And with a good protein powder, it's what makes it milky, and it adds 30 grams of protein, and it's how I start every day.
Whoa. I like the idea of a protein powder in there. I just saw, I was in the airport, Starbucks has protein foam.
I know.
It's like 13 grams of protein in it.
I mean, 13's not enough for me. I'm a big boy. I need 200 grams a day, so we gotta go.
But that's probably a similar little thing that they're doing there.
Well, it's all about protein. Protein and fiber are the two things that we're all missing that we need more of, and good fats.
And that keeps no sugar.
I mean, there's like fake sugar in the protein powder typically.
All right. And okay, so
I like it light and sweet. Like let's be clear.
So what are you doing? You don't need it in that. You don't want it as soon as you get up. What's the thought behind that?
It's just about your body and your nervous system, and like what it does of introducing a stimulant.
So how deep you going with this? You drinking like warm lemon water before?
No, I do have a big glass of water. I try to have the equal amount of my protein shaker of protein coffee. I have with water first. And yeah, I mean, listen, the amount of the drugs I put into my body, it's like I can't be really that preachy about health.
The temple needs some graffiti too, you know.
I say this about sex a lot, where it's like my body's a temple that should be worshipped by anyone who respects it.
There you go. Hey,
anyone who's looking to worship inside, God bless.
Right on. I like that. Okay, so neither is what we're going to go with.
Neither. But I do love like a good almond milk.
All right. You and Bobby
again,
over here.
I got a sensitive tummy. I can't be.
Oh, the lactose doesn't agree all the time.
Or I'll do a lactose-free whole milk.
Okay, which is great.
Great.
Did you know all it is like a little chain that they break? Like, there's not really any. I love it.
Also, like when I'm really feeling rich, I get that pistachio milk shit.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
It's
it's so good. That's why I use that for my cereal. Oh my God, some Honey Bunches of Oats with pistachio milk. I feel rich.
Damn, let them cook over there. I like that. That's some fucking pistachio in there. That's some fucking Zingo Daddy shit, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Favorite bagel in New York right now?
I'm going to say Pop-Up just because there is really something around the way that they have like hot bagels. The bagel's never more than 30 minutes
The basket
old,
being replenished.
and so like to have hot bagels constantly, wow, what a luxury item.
God, I love bagels.
Yeah.
I saw
there's a bagel recipe in the book.
Solid, pretty bulletproof, or what?
Really, and when I tell you, so my recipe tester is a middle-aged Jewish woman because that's my audience.
Hell
and
yeah, dude. That's what you want.
I need those eyes because like I have professional people test the recipes, but they fill in a lot of holes that I need the average home cook to see, to be like, what does this mean?
Right.
She did the bagels with her son, and now her son, who's this 17-year-old high school student, makes bagels constantly. It's become his party trick for girls, for all this stuff, because it's so easy.
And listen, you have someone over, you go somewhere and you bring some fucking fresh bagels.
Fresh bagels.
Are you kidding me?
Literally.
That's some get laid bread shit right there.
What do you think? Why do you think I got so good at challah?
All right, so Pop-Up. Where are they at?
They're all over the city now.
Oh,
I got one on the Upper West Side.
It's a storefront, though.
Yes, it was started at literally. I met the guy who started it, Adam Goldberg, before, when they would literally pop up in places and just have like times to pick up your bagel slots. And he would come drop off bagels in my apartment, and I'd bake him challah. And now they have spots all around the country.
All over the country.
All over the country.
Do you know anyone that does a good
bialy?
Well, I love a bialy. I'm so glad you brought that up. I love the Russ and Daughters one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Where? Yeah. All right. What about where should I?
There's a great one in Philly. And now they're going to kill me because I don't remember the name.
It's okay. It's solid though.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a bagel lady. My dad was he worked for the postal. He was a mailman.
Kismet Bagels. There's a great bialy.
Oh, really?
In Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check that out. My dad
and Gertie does a great.
Gertie.
Yeah, they just closed in Williamsburg and they're reopening in the other side of Brooklyn by
Awesome
Prospect Park.
bialy.
Awesome
Small.
bialy. Small.
Onion.
Yeah. You gotta have
Poppy
onion
seed
and
or
poppy.
no?
You gotta have the poppy.
You gotta have the
gotta have the poppy.
Bialys might be the best thing in the world.
I love it because you have many. It's a good.
You know what else I need a recipe for? I'll look in one of your books. I'm sure you got one. Is a good matzo ball soup. Talk about fuck yourself up good. I love it.
I make the best.
Do you?
I make the best.
Come
on.
on.
The best.
What's the trick? What's the
There are
schmaltz?
a couple. So it's funny. Yes, schmaltz. Though in this book, I do have a Seder menu in the book. I wanted to give an option because one of the things I kept, my first 2 books had schmaltz, and this time around, I had so many people who were like, I have too many vegetarians coming over. What can I do? And so what I do is finally grate a ton of garlic and make kind of like a confit oil. That's the base of the matzo balls, and it adds so much flavor.
How bad could that be?
And it's really great. Yeah,
Ooh.
that I love.
It's such a good. I'm a big soup guy, but the simplicity to it,
soup
and
is life.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't grow up on matzo ball soup, but when it sits in there and just like gets like what our custardy little bread is doing,
saturated,
magic happens. Oh, a little dill.
A little dill.
A lot of dill.
Without dill. There was one time I had this man that I met.
Get the fuck out. No dill.
I met him and we ended up having a little like adult hangout. And afterwards I was like, oh, are you hungry? And I was like, yeah, and I just made all this egg salad. And he's eating. I was like, oh man, it's so good, but I really don't like dill. Never saw him.
Game breaker.
Gone. Goodbye. Deal breaker.
Deal breaker. That's the word we're looking for.
Dill breaker.
Dill breaker.
Yeah.
Dude, anyone that has super strong feelings about not liking any herb, sorry, you kind of lose me. I don't care if it was like, oh, I don't like cilantro. It's in my DNA. Get over it.
Period.
Herbs are the best.
But now we said it.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Eat them all.
Yeah.
Grow them. They're the easiest. Last question.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, bud, and we get back to our bacon. Final meal. All right, Jake, it's it. The gig's up tomorrow. Lights out, pal. We're going to see the maker or whatever everyone's into. What do you want to eat? What's it?
So tie back. It is matzo ball soup. We start with matzo ball soup, and then we move on to brisket. It's really like it's a lot of Jew food.
Like a Jewish braised.
A Jewish braised tomato brisket.
Okay.
As well as I need 2 proteins. Brisket plus chicken fingers. I love chicken fingers. Love with barbecue sauce. Love a little honey mustard, but really it's barbecue sauce.
Chicken breast. Yes.
Yeah, real good chicken fingers.
You dip in something?
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Like sweet barbecue sauce. None of that vinegary shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
this ain't South Carolina.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Sorry to those people.
Like some Sweet Baby Ray's shit or something. Yeah.
Definitely. Give me, again, if it's the last day, I just want high fructose corn syrup by the bucket and a Diet Coke.
Why not just do the sugar?
Because I like the Diet Coke.
More than a regular?
100%.
Oh, you're addicted. 100%. You like the ass or pass or fucker team.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Okay. Ice
for sure.
Chipped ice.
No, just like
cubes
of ice. I'm not crazy. Some people are crazy about their pebble ice.
Dude, the pebble ices.
And then for dessert, I'm a huge sweet tooth.
Okay.
Huge sweet tooth. So we got a pint of Ben & Jerry's fish food.
Oh, you lost me.
What? That's the best ice cream flavor.
No, I don't like stuff in my ice cream.
That's why I love like Cafe Pana in the city. It's just like high-end bases with like these like whimsical mix-ins, which I love.
You love a mix-in.
I love a mix-in. Fish food, really exceptional. Really. Oh, and I love a fancy, like I love like Jenny's wild berry lavender.
Sure.
Like, I love a lavender flavor, anything. Anyway, we're going to have a pint of ice cream.
A whole pint. You're eating that whole thing.
A whole thing.
Damn right.
We're going to have warm chocolate chip cookies, freshly baked.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little hot beverage with it or no?
No.
A little coffee or no?
No. Yeah.
A little coffee. You don't even do the milk. Just put the half and half in a little coffee. Fuck the you don't need protein.
Okay,
powder
we'll do a glass of milk with the cookies. And then a tiramisu.
Ooh,
I love a tiramisu.
I like your style, man. That's a good one. Only person, you know who else gave a great answer, and it kind of became my answer, was I had the wonderful and legendary Jacques Pepin on the show.
Casual,
And,
yeah.
And his response was, he didn't tell me what it was, but he says it's going to be about 100 courses and it's going to take about 12 hours. I just thought that was a great answer.
Want like what is it? Monty Python's Meaning of Life, where just like the stomach explodes from the mint at the end. Like that's the
I
want
my stomach to explode before they kill me.
Yeah.
I love that. Jake, great having you on, man. And guys, check out his book. You can find it everywhere now, right?
Everywhere. Wherever books are sold.
Heck yeah. And what are you on the social medias and all that stuff?
At Jake Cohen.
The
Hockey chef.
The hockey chef, aka the hockey chef. Thanks for hanging, man.
This episode was produced by Leone and Carolyn Gagnon in partnership with Studio 71. It was edited by Brunotts with music by Menzel.